These Jewish alien apes must stop abusing pure Christian women. Darkness in Konosuba is tortured by the creators of that perverted, filthy show. And why is the TV show filth? Because Kazuma, the male hero of the show, chooses a satanic witch over a Christian lady knight. It's like choosing Manuela over Catherine. Always choose Catherine in the respective Fire Emblem series. Darkness is sidelined the entire show except for her sexual appeal. She's only used as a sexual masochist gag for the entirety of the show, and does not even get to have sex with the hero. Her sexual frustration is seen as a joke by the unwashed masses, when women have needs, and the sword of the hero is meant to fulfill her pocket of procreation. Kazuma is forced to reject darkness because of Megumin's manipulation. That is the only explanation, as we see several hints of Megumin's dark designs for our hero throughout the show. Coercion, bullying, false allegations of sexual mistreatment. When it is darkness who was sexually mistreated by lacking her purpose for having a pussy. She wants to be made pregnant by the hero, and Kazuma is sexually aroused by her cute mommy body, so the only reason why he's not beating her like a dog is because Megumin and Aqua are conspiring against him. Those witches ruined the episode when Darkness and Kazuma were alone in the showers, nude, naked like pure animal beings, happy, excited, ready to breed and praise the Lord at every clap of Darkness' mommy butt cheeks. Megumin and Aqua, the witches, couldn't have this happen, as they fed on the sexual frustration of Darkness and Kazuma, and loved to torture her in every way possible, and mocked Kazuma every way under the sun. He should have raped those witchy Satanists, and if he did plow those girls with a sword, they would be so happy to get his seed. But the point of the story is to breed big, sexy mommy Darkness. Darkness, the loyal knight lady of Kazuma, the durable, strong, sexy, blonde hero woman of the party who will never stop fighting until the very end. The cowards, Megumin and Aqua, were always the first to talk and the first to run, while Darkness remained silent and submissive in the manner of a good Christian woman, but was the strongest on the battlefield. Megumin must have been jealous. She must have called Darkness zealous. She must have been raping Darkness with her explosion spell at night when the girl slept separate from Kazuma, shoving her rod in the Christian girl's tight, wet pussy and screaming satanically. I will blow your pussy off this earth, whore. Megumin likely shrieked at the top of her lungs, and Darkness, trained to be strong, would only whimper for more, thinking in her pure heart that her actions were protecting Kazuma from Megumin's evil wrath. During Megumin's torture sessions of this pure, beautiful Christian woman, the midget witch would rip off her red dress disguise and reveal her true guise. Her blue skin and crooked yellow teeth and Jewish hook nose, as she hissed in Darkness' ears and raped the gorgeous girl in the ass like the satanic filth that she is. All the while, Aqua would be keeping watch for Kazuma, which is why she throws herself on him all the time, training him to not react to her attempts to stop him from discovering Megumin's rape and torture sessions. Darkness' durability is high because of Megumin's torture, and her masochism is a result of her trauma from the evil witch's non-stop rape and abuse of this pure Christian woman. Megumin is probably Mexican, based on the name and her actions and her lying, cowardly, traitorous nature. Only God can forgive her, but a witch like her would never turn away from the dark arts and return to the light. The witches were screaming and raping Darkness with their tools, fingers, feet, and their satanic abomination of demonic bodies. And Darkness could only scream Kazuma's name into the dildos of these satanic lesbian apes. You think your hero will save you? These witches must have mocked a good, strong, pure Christian woman like this, not knowing that God's wrath is blazing a path toward them, as Kazuma rode on a white horse with a golden sword, roaring up the mountain of the castle of the knight who tried to save Darkness from the witches and perished. When Kazuma arrives, Darkness will fight back and reclaim her honor, slicing the witches that raped her into shreds, sending them back to Satan, as she is pure, strong, and never wrong, and will have many babies with the Kazuma who's strong enough to fuck her in the pussy as God commanded without saying sorry to anybody. They will have 40 babies, and the creator only cut this out of the story to push the Jewish lolicon agenda on weebs. Anime is basically pornography. All anime girls should be walking around pregnant in every season of their respective stories. But the Jewish alien scum who wrote these animes have no respect for humanity, or Christianity, or God, or breeding, or anything except the profanity that passes as artistic talent on television. God give us all many babies and many wives. That is the true purpose of life, and the health and wealth of the body and soul that cannot be sold for any price. Amen. I am the pure one. I realize that I have no sickness and no disease. I am pure. I am cured. And it is the society itself that is sick, festering with illness, with disease, with problems of the body and mind. Deep inside, behind their mask, these people are suffering and sick. My suffering is clear on my face, and my strength is clear on my face too. I don't wear any mask. It's all together there. There's a storm in my eyes. But I show up every time and I get the job done. I show up with strength that makes them all afraid. And that is perfectly fine with me because I'm done playing their games. Their fake games of trying to get along with these liars, knaves, skanks, these schemers, these people who think that if they hide their true intentions behind a smile, that they can get along with me, when in reality, they hate my strength, they hate my capabilities. And so I hate them back. I'm not the one who turns the other cheek. I hate those who hate me. I hate those who are enemies of me. I hate my enemies. That is my Christianity. That is my faith. For those who wish harm against me, I wish equal harm against them. For those who wish to hurt, destroy, or deter me from my path, I wish for them to be destroyed in the same manner. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If someone is good to me, I will be twice as good to them even. If someone is terrible to me, then what can they expect except justice? That is what is only fair and just in this world. Anyone who says anything else is living in a sycophantic, submissive mindset, accepting doom and despair, just like the darkness in the story. Darkness is a metaphor. Its character is a masochist who accepts being sidelined and abused. She should have obtained justice against these people who constantly abused and tormented her in the show. Instead, she got this masochistic bent, this masochistic defense mechanism, because masochism is abnormal. It is not normal for the human being to seek out pain. For women, there is more of a bend toward it because of natural biological design with childbirth, menstruation, the toils of being a woman biologically give them more of a tendency to have this masochism built into them. However, it is not a natural, normal human tendency to seek out pain, as pain is supposed to be a warning of impending danger or doom, death. So it is not normal to be a masochist. And this character Darkness is traumatized, tortured, tormented by these witches around her, by these people who mock her, who sideline her. Half of the show is these witches, these characters, Aqua and Megumin, chatting for 2, 3, 4 minutes straight, while Darkness is in the background, without her face not even animated. They just forget about her until it comes time for her next gag. Until it comes time for her next gag, Darkness is in the background. Rewatch the show Konosuba, you'll see exactly what I mean. Until it comes time for Darkness's next gag, she doesn't say anything. She's just in the background, looking dull, but she's a beautiful, strong, pure Christian woman, a warrior, a knight, and yet she is mocked and made to seem as useless as these other evil girls, because these other girls don't have strength. Darkness has strength. Darkness has durability. Darkness has tenacity. Darkness can take it. She can take punishment. The other girls only run away from danger and from fights, and they only ever fight if they're sure they can win. When all Darkness gets into fights that are tough and expects to be beaten down and keep on fighting, she has that fighter spirit, the warrior spirit. Not even Kazuma has a spirit as strong as Darkness, unfortunately, and the weakness of Kazuma's spirit is encouraged by these witches. They encourage him to be weak. They like it when he's weak. They like to have someone they can push around, and they do. They use threats against him. Whereas if Kazuma was a stronger character, these witches wouldn't be able to manipulate him any longer, and their house of cards would fall apart, and he would seize his wife. He would seize her by the breast. He would kiss her. He would seize her by her round, fertile behind, and he would stick his tongue between her lips and kiss her deeply, and breathe in her scent, and kiss her neck, and lick her, and pin her down the bed, and breed her like the Christian woman that she is, pump her with children as she moans into his ear and hugs him close, and thanks him for being the great, strong hero who is saving her from despair and doom and loneliness and all the evils of this world that are seen in this character Darkness, who is so used to being sidelined as this gag character. And some people do live life as this gag character, only living life for the amusement of others. In Darkness's case, that's her life. She gets beaten up. She gets dragged on the back of a horse, on the ground, in the dirt, on the back of a wagon. And this is a gag. Oh, she likes being dragged by the horse in the dirt. She likes being thrown in the mud. She likes being slapped, beaten, spat on, hit, her clothes being torn apart, choked, tied up. But does she really? Or what does she really want? Would she rather have ropes tied around her? Would she rather have the arms of a strong hero who cares for her wrapped around her, showing her true love and care? in times of strength and in times of weakness. She doesn't crave punishment. She has become so used to punishment and pain in her life that her adaptation is that she has convinced herself, the strong Christian woman, that enjoying the punishment is better than falling into despair and doom. Darkness deserves better. You all must agree on this. This anime is not a joke. These characters I have chosen for my sermons about the human spirit and the human condition are not a joke because I have a wise eye for certain characters in media that represent what is under attack in the modern era. This fighter spirit. That's why I chose Jasper for my last video. And now this Christian woman, this young, beautiful, noble woman, lady, a noble lady who is treated like trash and trounced and flounced and thrown about like a fish, treated like less than a dog, kicked, stomped on, beaten, whipped, spat on, thrown in the dirt, stoned with rocks. All of these things happen in the show. I do not even need to provide all the examples because there's too many to provide. Darkness is a beautiful, strong, young woman who deserves so much better than being sidelined and beaten without even getting any sex. Most women, the abused wife, has children with a man. At least she gets her sex and her children, even though the man is overstepping the bounds of his role and begins to become her dominator, destroyer of her honor as a woman. And God knows all that men do, and God knows all that women do, and the contents of our hearts. The woman who was an abused wife, at least she gets her rights to have her children, to have her offspring. But darkness is abused and does not even get procreation. Less than a dog, they see her as. This is improper, this is disgusting, and this is hateful, and it's treated as a joke by these Jews, by those who create these shows. Unforgivable, I say. These people who create these shows should be put on a stake and burnt in a public square, or they should be treated the exact same way as Darkness in the show. Every single one of these anime protagonists, the males, should be impregnating these females all the time. What's the point of this constant blue balling, where the male gets the female on a bed and then somehow doesn't impregnate her? That's just mockery. You might think it's a joke, it's mockery. Any man with a speck of semen inside his body, any man with his rod of God intact, gets a female, a young, fertile female, pinned on the bed beneath him. He's going to do the deed. How do you even get there if you don't mean to do that? It's not a joke. It's a mockery that is designed to blue ball the watchers of the show. So I've set this matter clear now. There is a concerted effort and agenda against the young men in society to make them hate what they should have. They should have as many young, beautiful women, pregnant women as they want. They should have a harem because there's so many women out there who need to be bred. This is a crisis of the modern era, and it is the right of a young, virile man to breed young, fertile women. God made it that way. Otherwise, the man would not be born with a penis. Otherwise, the man would not exist. Men exist to breed women, and women exist to be bred by men. That is God's path. And any voice who says otherwise is the voice of the devil. These demons of destruction, despair, and the false satanic intellectualism of modern society, using excuses to disguise their hatred for procreation and life, which is the purpose of life here. I am on a pro-life path right now. I am on a path of life. And I used to be on the path of death, which was this satanic intellectualism, as in overthinking when it comes to the path of, okay, but why should I even do this when God said to do it? I was given this penis for a reason. God said, you have a penis and you are born as a man. Therefore, use that semen to impregnate women. Society is a Jewish deception that is very far from the perfect creation that God designed because we live in a satanic world ruled by satanic people. But the right of every man is to fight for what's right under the eyes of God. And what's right under the eyes of God is breeding as many women as possible to bring as much life as possible into this earth, as many new souls as can do what's right upon the earth, bring righteousness, bring plentiful harvests, because the more people who are on the earth, the more they have to offer. It is always better to have more children, not less. It is always better to have more sex, not less. Sex and procreation are the purpose of life.